celebrity skincare expert, and just an amazing, soulful human being is right here live with us in the studio. Nusha Salimi, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel so lucky and honored to be here today with you.
Oh, the first time I met you, I fell in love with you. You have this beautiful, calm presence, and you have this glow, and you're just so naturally gorgeous. And I saw you sit down before we started, and I saw you kind of just like breathing. Do you meditate every day?
Well, I try to definitely meditate every day. I definitely believe, and I've seen results myself, that when your mind and your body are relaxed, that you definitely get more of a glow and a presence to your own beauty and sense of self. I think if I can even get 2 minutes a day, because I have two young kids, I actually just mentally feel better. But one of my little tips that I love doing, if you want to try it together, we can do a
Sure.
little quick body scan.
Okay.
I love just closing the eyes.
Okay.
And really connecting to the breath through the nose. So taking a deep breath in and exhaling through the mouth. Noticing the shoulders relax, the tummy. And then I really like to do visualization. So what I will visualize is the muscles in the forehead relaxing, the corners of the eyes relaxing, the cheeks. And then I'll move my jaw around a little bit. And I'll also visualize the tongue unwinding all the way into the throat. Visualizing the arms relaxing all the way to the fingertips. The heart, the tummy. Noticing the chair that I'm sitting on, the thighs, the knees, the calves, ankles, all the way to the tips of the toes. And I'll imagine this really beautiful energy locking to the earth. And then I'll just do a quick breath in and body scanning one more time through the visualization. And then I'll gently open my eyes. And there's something about that that just makes things more crisp, more awake, more alive. And doesn't it all of a sudden you look full,
incredible.
like more relaxed?
Really?
It's fascinating to me. Like,
Wow, it's awareness. It's
Yeah.
being aware. We're so busy, especially as a working mom. It's like running all the time. And just to pause for 30 seconds and do that brings you an awareness.
yeah.
But it's so true. And you said to visualize how your cheeks and your tongue, that when I look at your face, honestly, it's so relaxed. You have this really relaxed, beautiful, and I know you're also, a holistic healthcare practitioner and you do Reiki. So it's not just skincare. It's like all in one, this like beautiful person that you are. And I see also on Instagram that you're using this with your children. You're meditating with them.
I'm trying, yeah. And they're not always like taking it all in, but I think that everything is planting seeds for when they're older. I did not have that when I was a kid. I got it way later on in life. And I look back, I'm like, gosh, if I'd had certain tools just to regulate my nervous system, especially in my early 20s, I think that life could have been a little bit more of an easier ride. So now with my son, who's 5, I will at nighttime, just even if we do like 2 to 3 minutes, we'll do some yoga stretching, give him something to be grateful for, and try to come up with like little mantras with him, because hopefully when he's older, I'll be like, oh, I remember doing that with mom.
Love that.
And it's just little things to hopefully just bring them to that place of like calm and ease when they're older. But
They're so lucky to have you that you're actually instilling that now. I actually think that we should be doing this in schools all around the
yeah,
country.
definitely.
It's such an important practice because you walk into the world like that and then you have a completely different way of looking at the world. We're so focused on how we look on the outside, which is why people pay you the big bucks and you dealing with lots of celebrities and lots of high echelon, people who come to you because you really know what you're doing. You've crafted it. But you're saying it's not just the outside. It's also the inside and how you feel that makes you look the way you do.
Yeah, I think everything's a balance. I think that, I have no judgment against the people who are doing a ton of Botox and filler or the ones who are totally anti it. But I think that everything has a happy medium and there's a way to do things gracefully that you don't need to actually change who you are physically. And if the people that I find fascinating are the ones who are really comfortable in their own skin and who they are, but we can do little bits of Botox, we can do little bits of filler. It just refreshing and bringing out what's already beautiful in them.
I
And
love
there's
that.
so many ways you can do that without being completely stiff in your face or changing the way the cheeks look or the lips. And the clients who end up coming to me are people who really honor that within themselves. Like, okay, I've come to like this comfortability of being like, I am going to age, but I would like to do it gracefully,
Right.
keeping some of the lines, keeping some of the movement, but just feeling good.
I love that. I mean, look, here's the question. I'm with my friends all the time. We're all middle aged, as my kids like to say. I have one sitting there. They make fun of me. Mom, you're middle aged now. And we're all these women who we do want to age gracefully, right? And naturally. But the truth is, if you're not doing Botox, you're the only one in the city who's got lines on your forehead.
Yeah.
So there are certain things you have to do. What's your suggestion? How do you go about doing it where you do age gracefully, but you look beautiful and you feel good about yourself?
So again, I think that doing Botox, any of the neuromodulators, there's like 5 different brands now. I think doing small amounts of it every 2 to 3 months, you can totally have that done and still have movement. And that will also help with some of the lines decreasing. And a lot of people ask me now too, like, are there ways to prevent it? And because I do treat some younger people, like in their 20s, and I'm like, yeah, we can do half the amount, like, and dilute the dosing in a certain way, so then they're preventing some of those lines from creating from expression that we're naturally moving the muscles. So there's definitely ways to do it where it's still looking natural. And for me, it's like getting to know my client and getting to know what their desires are, and we can find that happy medium.
When do you suggest women start to actually come in and think about doing Botox and fillers if they want to prevent, you know?
So I always like to say that a lot of it's genetic. So, I don't like going by age. Like I think because I've been in this industry now for over 15 years, like I don't have a relationship to age as much. Like I've met women who are in their 60s who look like they're 30. And it's like late 30s. I'm like, this woman's 6 years old. Like I'm in awe.
Right.
Like her body looks amazing. She's taking good care of herself. She eats healthy. She goes to the gym. She's doing little things on her face and she looks natural. But it's amazing how I have seen some women now, like you can't really put an age on them.
That's true.
So for me, it's like, when do we suggest people to come and start doing it? It's kind of like, look at your mom, see how she was aging, see what her skin type is like. And if you already are having lines etched in your skin when you're in your 20s, then it's time. Come do a little preventative work.
Right.
And there's no shame in it. I think for so long, and I think that's kind of that stigma is like starting to wear off, but there was so much shame around doing these little things for treatment or for preventative before. And now it's like, no, we can still do it. You're not changing who you are, but you're doing little things.
Right. And you do it so skillfully and beautifully. And now you have come up with this amazing oil as well that you're talking about. Can you tell us a little bit? Because any product that you have created, I know is going to be natural and good for you. You never push anything on anyone, Nusha. You're really a very authentic person. So tell us a little bit about this oil, how we use it, why you created it.
Okay, so here is the reset oil. So I actually created this during COVID originally. I'm just going to put some on my hands because I like the way it smells. I created this during COVID times because it was when all the nurses were wearing the masks and everyone was complaining about all the irritation that they had.
Right.
So I was actually, at that point, I was like very much more into my meditations, doing longer ones. And I had a download one day. I'm like, why are they not putting on some sort of preventative treatment on their skin before they put masks on, and why are they having this irritation on their skin? So I started to just play with different oils and stuff at home. I was like to tinker with different things, and I put in arnica and bromelain and rose and all healing products into a little little thing I was just playing with, and I was like, this is what they need to be doing on their skin to help treat this like eczema that they've created from. I actually don't know how that was happening because like people in the operating room have been wearing masks for so long and they weren't getting irritated. But anyway, so that was my initial reason why I started to come up with the idea of creating a treatment oil. But then it moved into being more of a daily oil also, because I added in vitamin C, and the carrier of this particular oil is MCT. So it's very nourishing and soothing to the skin. And so it has multi-uses, this oil, and I wanted to make something that was super simple for a daily routine, and then also a treatment oil if you have irritations or bruising or inflammation in the skin.
Okay, so if I mean, what do you suggest you do with this oil for women in their 40s, for example? Are you putting on this oil like every morning before you moisturize, or how do you use it?
So for me, I like again to make my routine so simple. I use it in the morning after I've cleansed with a really nice cleanser. There's tons that I love, but I use a one that it's going to be more of a gel cleanser so I can really clean the skin off. And then I use the oil because there's vitamin C in it, and vitamin C is activated by the sun. So I use that as my moisturizer. I let it seep into the skin, and then I put a sunblock on over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so my routine is really simplified.
I
So
love it.
yeah, and then the other things I do at nighttime, if you're going to use it twice a day, it depends on if how your skin does. If you feel like you're over oily, you don't need to use an oil more than once a day.
Right.
But I will cleanse my skin at nighttime. And once a week, I will use a really good exfoliant with granule because I really want to take off that dead skin. And then the oil can really seep in nicely into it. And then I'll just use that as my evening oil. And I'm just keeping it simple right now. And then if I have more time, I'll add in serums and creams on my eyes and things
Right.
like that. But at this chapter of my life with the young kids and how tired I am at night, I'm kind of like, give me one and done products. And that was
Yes.
the other reason why I revamped this line. And I took out a couple of ingredients and added some things. So now it's just super easy and simplified.
Well, thank you for creating a one and done product because I am so tired of trying to search for what to do, what's for this, what's for that. And this will just take care. It's hydrating, which is great in the summer, especially because we're so dry. So I'm really looking forward to starting to use your oil and seeing, I mean, you have this glow. What's the secret? What's the secret to the glow? Is it the oil?
I think so. I mean, I like to give this oil a lot of credit for my glow.
Okay.
I think doing a skincare routine daily, and then I do all my other treatments too. Let's not say I definitely do my Profilo treatment, which is a skin hydrator injection that gives you a super nice glow. It's a liquefied hyaluronic acid that you inject under the skin.
Ooh.
So I love that. I do my tiny bits of neuromodulator, and then I do aqua gold, which is microneedling, where you infuse little bits of Botox and a little bit of hyaluronic acid into the skin through these microchannels.
Ooh.
And it totally shrinks the pores and gives you a really good glow. And then
How often do you do that?
I just had an event last week, so I did it right before my event. If I have time, I'll do it probably like once every 2 months.
Okay.
And every time I do it, I'm like, oh, this is such a good treatment. And then using the oil after, it's just gonna hydrate you and make you feel super glowy and yeah.
I mean, people come to you from all over the world because you really are the real deal. And we have you here. We have all your knowledge here with us. Will you look into that camera and just share your one bit of advice? If you were to say one thing to every woman out there on how to preserve their skin, how to get the glow, how to age gracefully, what would be your advice for them?
So, my bit of advice for any woman who is trying to just preserve their beauty and have a simplified routine would be use an oil, hydrate your skin, and exfoliate. Those two tips are really going to give your skin a beautiful glow and help you feel and look refreshed.
And Nusha, where can people find you? How can they make an appointment? How can they come see you? Where can we find your oil?
So the oil you can find at www.rejuvenatewithnusha.com, and you can also find more information about it at Nurse Nusha on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, great. And if people want to come in and have a consultation with you, come in and see you, they could same www.
Same way, yes.
Okay, amazing, amazing. Nusha, you are a light. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for being so real and authentic rather than trying to sell and inject and push things, which we see so much of, especially in this city, and for really just making women feel good in their own skin.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was a pleasure. You saw it right here on Moms Matter, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks for joining us.